Rimworld is a over-the-top, slightly insane colony builder under the gaze of an all-powerful storyteller. It slots itself nicely between the more complex and intricate Dwarf Fortress and the more usual RTS city builder style gameplay. The ultimate goal is to build a spaceship to escape the planet, or travel to a pre-built one. However, like most things in life, the journey matters more than the goal. Rimworld is pretty solidly built, especially considering the sheer amount of mods you can slap onto this. Adding all these mods does cause fairly significant loading times, but we'll get onto those later. The art style is clean and simple. It works really well and it's fairly obvious at a glance as to what something is, whether it's a cooker, research bench, or ancient death robot. The wind sway of the grass and the trees does a great job of making the world feel more dynamic and alive. If there's anything to complain about, it's the UI, which is way too simple. Take the scenario editor. Want to start with a specific item? Good luck finding it in this chaos. The UI also doesn't scale particularly well, which is really noticeable once your colonist number goes up and is occupying more and more of the screen. Gameplay revolves around building up a strong and sustainable colony while weathering the attacks of hostiles. And your own colonists going on murder sprees because you didn't feed him enough. It begins with randomly generating a world to live on. You can do a little tweaking and create some more extreme planets. From there, it's up to you where you want to plant roots. There's a nice variety of biomes and terrain modifiers, so no colony's location will ever look the same as another's. Other factions and roads also litter the map. Eventually you can interact with them, but that's also for later. Next comes colonist selection. Every colonist is unique and comes with traits and skills influenced by their backstory, even drug dependencies. Some skills will be tagged with passion, boosting the rate of XP gained for that skill. Any skill over 10 will slowly degrade back down to 10, preventing colonists from becoming perfect jack of all trades. They're also fickle creatures, annoyed at the slightest thing and prone to throwing tantrums. Should a colonist's mood sit too low for too long, they'll have a mental breakdown. Depending on how bad their mood was, some are relatively harmless, others not so much. Occasionally, a colonist will become inspired, giving them a buff for a few days. It can be hard to take advantage of these, as what inspiration they receive is completely random. Random events are the main driver of the story generation. Storytellers control what events happen at what time, so choosing the right storyteller and difficulty will influence your colony significantly. Events can vary from mundane cargo pods, manhunting animals, psychic drones, and sieges, just to name a few. Colony building itself is fairly simple, and there's always the quick help up at the top right to help guide you along. Eventually, development will be gated by research. Research is fairly passive, just assign someone to research on a bench and they'll get to work. Production is a bit more complicated and works using bills. This allows for a great deal of control on what is crafted, using what material and by whom. You'll generally want to focus on your colonists' strengths and passions, specializing in a skill or two each. The main reason for this is quality. Almost everything that can be made has a quality attached to it, ranging from absolutely god-awful to legendary. Better quality items made with better materials have greatly improved stats, and are also worth a lot more. Depending on where you've settled, different materials may be at a premium, and you'll have to import them. This is where factions come in. Friendly factions will come by with trade caravans at the whims of the storyteller. Caravans specialize in different goods, so it's always good to check what's available. In the event you don't want to wait for a caravan, colonists can travel across the world to settlements and sell directly. Setting up your own caravan is done with a simple tick-off menu. It just looks fairly scary. Colonists will then grab the goods, set them down at a staging area, and then head off the local map. Or launch some shock troopers via drop pods and take what is rightfully yours by way of combat. You aren't limited to just other settlements though. Occasional quests will pop up nearby with varying rewards. There's no penalties from ignoring them, but they are the only way to obtain several rare and powerful items. Eventually, your colony is going to be attacked. Raids start off small, but grow in strength dependent on the storyteller difficulty and how much wealth the colony owns. Raid types are determined by what faction is attacking, with pirates being more high-tech and tribals being more numerous. Various different defensive options are available to turn the tides in your favour. Choke points, turrets and traps are fairly vital to whittle down aggressors while your colonists mop up the remainder. Drafting colonists turns people into militia that can be commanded like a normal RTS. Rimworld loves its stats, so there's no less than 6 different factors that affect the chance to hit, but you can see the overall chance by hovering over the target. Higher armor ratings increase the chance of a hit being less fatal or outright deflecting the attack. Guns don't make pawns all powerful however. Melee is equally as effective as gun users can't shoot at point blank range. Energy shields can also eat incoming damage, allowing a sword-wielding fanatic to rush effectively. After being battered, bruised and shot, it's time for the doctors to patch people up. Rimworld has individual health for each limb, finger, toe, and even vital organs. Damage slowly accumulates via permanent injuries and scarring. Limbs can be torn off, organs can be completely destroyed, whittling down the effectiveness of your colonists over time. Ripping out your enemy's organs and putting them in your own colonists is a perfectly acceptable solution. Rare augmentations like bionic arms and legs also appear from time to time, allowing that previous amputee to go full-on Robocop. You could also just recruit your captives like a normal person. Or eat them. Lastly, there's mods. Mods are so varied in their size and scope it's impossible to go through them all. I'd recommend playing vanilla for the first few runs, but mods provide such amazing quality of life features and can open up so many possibilities, I'd say they're almost mandatory. They do increase the load times, but other than that, there's no detriment to using them. Rimworld's strengths are in the freedom to tell your own story. Stranded spacefarers looking to return home, cannibal tribe devouring their foes, drug runners, the options are endless, and with the variety of biomes coupled with the semi-randomness of the storytellers, Rimworld manages to become what it sets out to be, a colony builder with an ever-evolving story of happiness and tragic drama. And it's only as difficult or as punishing as you, the player, want it to be.